What are your thoughts on AI and its ability to shape how music is made, how visual arts are made? Are you one of these like scared of AI, or do you embrace new technology?
I don't know enough about it yet to talk about it. What I will say is what I find interesting about art is the point of view of the person making it. And I don't know that AI has a point of view of its own. So I don't know how interesting it would be, AI's point of view. But I like people's points of view. And what makes an artist a great artist to me is something about their point of view does something to me.
Things that make you go,
Hi guys, welcome to my new YouTube channel, ROSKO the Soul Reacts. I'm ROSKO, a music producer, and on this channel, we'll be breaking down music production techniques, and we'll also be breaking down interviews around music production and also the topics in the music industry and what the pros have to share with us and some of the more pressing topics. So today I want to discuss AI music. Is it a hindrance to artists, or is it something that can help enhance the artistic process? And this is a question that is difficult to answer because from a producer perspective, AI is just another tool to express yourself. It's much like sampling, the same way that people thought that sampling was going to ruin music, but it just helped old music reach a new audience. I think that AI can be a way to enhance your production techniques or finish a song that you haven't yet finished. From a music producer's perspective, that's what I think. But for an artist, a singer and songwriter, that's completely different because we're talking about likeness, we're talking about connecting with fans, and we're talking about the human element, telling stories, and because that's what music is. It's a way to connect with other people. So if it's not unethical to have an AI artist, is it also unethical to have AI consumers? If you have a completely autonomous consumer like a super fan whose primary job is to just support an artist's music, how different is that from having an AI artist? We're going to be looking at an interview where Curtis King interviews the CEO of Beatstars. Beatstars is a company that helps producers sell beats. If you haven't heard of it, go check it out. I also use it to sell my beats. Yeah, they have a very interesting discussion on AI music and how they want to protect the artists from, the ever-changing landscape of music. Here we have the interview. On your left is Curtis King and is interviewing Batshon. On your right, the CEO of Beatstars. And I've left the link in the description below if you want to see the full video.
Because it is something that, man, I'm still getting questions. Even though I haven't made a piece of producer content probably in a year and a half, I still get comments about like, Curtis, what are we supposed to do when it feels like we're going to be out here competing as producers with folks who can make beats faster than us? Somebody even said the idea suggesting, and I'm glad you brought up the whole identification system. He was like, man, these folks are going to, make accounts and then just.
Yeah, this does raise the problem of market saturation with watered down music. And this is where maybe we have to start thinking about AI music regulation, like putting disclaimers on the music to let people know that this is AI music, and people that want to consume that music, they can go ahead and consume that music. And people that don't want to consume that music, they at least have the choice not to consume that music because it can get very deceptive.
Flood their entire beat store, and then what happens to me when I'm trying to be searched out by potential artists?
Yeah.
When you look at AI as a whole,
market saturation.
I got something for that.
You got something for that? Okay, before I get into that question, go ahead and break it down.
Oh, I was just saying, I got something for that. When you're saying like the competition, like how are we going to compete with AI? How are we going to compete? AI is going to plateau if as long as the training material stops flowing into them.
These AI models, basically, the way they work is they use training data sets, and these data sets they have to use existing catalog of music in order to learn how to make music, right? So AI models always have like it's machine learning anyway. You have training data sets, and then you have testing data sets. So yeah, you have a training set, which is the portion of the data used to teach the machine learning model to recognize patterns. Music is a pattern, and while the testing set is a separate, unseen portion of data. So in this case, it would be music coming from existing catalogs.
I say, it appears my cranium has doubled in size.
So that's what it is. And yeah, your creativity is always going to be paramount. I don't think that AI can ever replace your creativity. Your creativity it's unique unto itself. AI models, they recreate what already exists. They cannot create. I think that's where Batshon is taking the conversation in that direction.
Remember, AI ain't really AI yet. Maybe a lot of people mistake machine learning with AI.
Yes, AI is something completely different. You're talking about a sentient being or a sentient entity.
Okay.
A lot of people mistake machine learning with AI. Right now, we're just calling it AI because it's a fancy term name. It's a
branding, marketing,
a fancy good name. But the underlying technology and the models that are being created is just machine learning. It's just algorithmic probability of trained data.
Yeah, it's just pattern recognition. That's what it is.
Data and using the likelihood of and probability of the existing data. Like it won't be able to create something new. It won't be able to create something new. It can only create something that exists. So
exactly, it's just recreation. It's not creation.
So as us that create new shit every day, as long as we don't feed these models, and we keep our pulse on the culture, we keep creating what's new, what's hot, what's great, and we.
Oh, man. Like, in my opinion, I think that ship has already sailed. I think in terms of feeding the model, if the model already exists, it means the music has already been fed to it. So the model already exists. I think the next course of action is have some form of regulation, like disclaimers and copyrights and the legalities around it.
We protect ourselves from that, then we're gonna cut off the umbilical cord for these guys, and that AI shit will be stale as fuck. Now we're sending out legal notices to all of these companies through our partnership with Surreal, with Surreal AI. We send.
Yeah, I love this guy's energy, man. He's all action.
Out legal notices. We got permission from all of our producers, our creators, and we're telling all these AI companies, our creators are opting out of this fair use bullshit. All of this fair use bullshit, and
it's not fair use though, if you think about it.
Putting y'all on notice. If you use our shit, you know what's about to go down.
That was gonna be my next question. Did you see any evidence of, because they said they combed, like sites like Suno and Udio said they combed over tens of millions.
Exactly. So those tens of millions of songs, that is the training data set. That's what it is.
Of copywritten material. And I assume, especially when, we won't get into this conversation about Timbaland in a situation where the tag popped up. But I assume that had to at some point find, if not Beatstars.com, it had to have found the YouTube pages that are making type beats for sure.
That too. But I think the artist, and I love my artists. I'm an artist. I'm a songwriter artist. Okay,
I'm an artist. Yeah.
They are taking the beats and they're putting them into Suno too to add little stuff, to add their vocals. So they're willingly putting the material there as well too. And we got something for that too coming.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
See that? This look, hold on. That's why I rock with you. That's why I rock with Abe.
He's got answers for everything, bro. Like, this guy's Batman. He has all the tools. He's just pulling out gadgets.
I won't kill you, but I don't have to save you.
I really like this guy.
Abe always, like, whenever there's a problem and you see woe is me people out here, Abe is the one, like, if we was in a car and the car broke down, I want to be in the car with Abe, because Abe would be like,
stay with me.
But I left my AAA card at home. Abe is the one walking down the street. He with me. We walking down the street. You know what I'm saying? We walk if the phones die, we walking down a mile to go to the next gas station. It's too many people out here who's sitting in the car whining about, oh yeah, what are we gonna do? But man, I'm glad you say that. And I actually,
we working with some scientists.
Yeah,
we working with some.
So you already,
we working with some scientists. Yeah.
Not to give it away because I was gonna say I also wanted to connect you or at least bring the conversation up. There's a producer that I interviewed recently or about a few months ago, and he created something called iCloak.app. And basically what it does, it poisons the audio, but it's not something that you can hear.
Yeah.
So the more.
Yeah, that sounds like some genius stuff. So yeah, man, when you're faced with a crisis, you just have to respond. I think the ability to respond to a crisis is better than avoiding it. This cloak technology sounds like it could be a real solution. In fact, it sounds like it already is a solution. So yeah, man, it's all about evolving, just moving with the times.
And he's a producer.
I'm keeping my eye on that.
Yeah, he's a producer too, which is crazy.
Dope. Okay,
so he was like, I got to do something about this.
We're talking to a bunch of other guys that are kind of doing some similar stuff. But yes,
right.
Get it on the input. Get it on the input. Let's protect it on the input before it gets output.
Man, because I can't imagine the day to some, and I feel like it's gonna happen. But we get on Beatstars, and it gives you the option of being able to protect your music in such a way. I imagine.
Yeah, that would be so useful. But just listening to this conversation, we've been talking about the present and the future, but there's another victim that we haven't mentioned yet, and that's the past. Like one of my hobbies is to look for old records on YouTube, because it's a digital archive, and it's a shared cultural history. And there are channels out there that are creating completely fake bands from the 70s, and they use AI generated images as well to make it look real, and there's a background story as well. And yeah, on so many levels, I think it has more serious implications because there's a historical integrity with that. Because if you think about it, it's kind of like erasing history. In 20 years, a musician or a historian or a curious fan, they're searching for 70s funk music, and they find like AI generated music. How will they be able to separate that from the real music? You get me? So the digital footprint of 70s music is now polluted with AI music, and the history gets rewritten so it's not only a threat to current artists, but understanding and preservation of the old records. And this is why I think regulation is much more important, and having a disclaimer is mandatory, because that not only protects the current artists, but it also protects the historical integrity of a lot of music out there.
Let this little pony show be cute for a little while. It's cute right now, raising 150 million and billions. Wait, you think we're just gonna let y'all slide and colonize? Nah.
I heard that.
Hey, you said colonize. Oh man.
I heard that. So let me be fair, because I gotta be on my journalism stuff. When you look at AI as a whole, what are the actual opportunities it may provide producers if used responsibly?
Yeah, so this goes back to my opening statement. It does open a new set of tools which producers can use to enhance their creative process, to enhance their workflows. So I think AI can help in these instances, but for singers and songwriters, yeah, like I think it gets into something different, because you're talking about connecting with people, and that's just completely different.
Well, I think, to be honest with you, I want to produce now as an artist.
Word. Okay.
Let me produce now. Let me cook. But let me use everyone's elements. But also elements that we know attribute ownership. We know, like I might want one of Curtis's piano loops. Then I might want Kato's drums. Then I might want
Everyone knows you go to Decap for drums.
Yo, Splice community, make sure you go and download Drums and Knock X and make some fire with it. I love some of the drum loops in this pack. Listen to some of these breakbeats.
Then I might want to add, you know what I'm saying? Let me stack up, let me customize, let me augment, let me do everything I want to do as an artist. Let me add some vocals. Shit, I might even add my own AI vocal of my own voice, that I own all the rights to, right? Like, I don't think innovation has to be like, you know, pushed down in order for.
Yeah, it goes back to my opening statement. I mean, technology is always going to be a new opportunity to express yourself differently. And it's always going to be a tool to explore your art in a different way and interface with the world in a different way. Because that's what technology is at the end of the day. It's just an interface for you to interact with the world.
For like great things to happen. Like, I don't think we need to stop innovating. I don't think we need to. I think we can do both, bro. I think innovation can happen and respecting people's rights at the same time can happen. And that's
and that goes back to the same point that I was making about regulation and disclaimer. And just let me know in the comments down below what you think of this conversation. And that is the portion of the interview that I was most interested in. And if you found this breakdown insightful, and if you found the discussion interesting, hit the sub, hit the like, share the video, help the video reach more people, and I'll catch you on the next one.